Om Sadashivasamarampham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. So last time we saw a little bit of who I am. Okay. This is what is going to be elaborated, highlighted throughout the Gita. But to understand this knowledge and more importantly to make it a part of your life, okay, the traditional teachers based on the Upanishad have put together some qualifications for this. There is no branch of study anywhere which does not put down some preliminary requirements. Like, if I want to study algebra or calculus, if I want to study calculus, I need to know what algebra is about. A plus b the whole square, what is it? A squared plus b squared plus 2ab. I need to know that basics. So, for want of a professor, I could not study calculus. So now I got the professor. So he is checked up as a good teacher. Okay. How much do I know? So when he is talking of a plus b the whole square, etc., I am lost. Now, does that mean I can't study calculus? No. He comes down. Says, okay, what is it that I know? At least the set theory and things like that. I said, what is set theory? I only know set dosa. ये set theory क्या होता है? A number line, that number line I have heard of. Okay. Now, he has to start from where I am. And I have to work to understanding algebra. After that, we can start the study of calculus. So, similarly here, if you look at the next couple of verses, you can understand that Krishna is taking some of these qualifications as a given. So, I thought today we will spend some time looking at what these qualifications are. What are these qualifications? Okay. You want the whole qualification in a nutshell? I'll tell you right now. In a nutshell, one line. To think clearly, feel deeply, act decisively. हो गया काम. Okay. To think clearly, feel deeply, act decisively. That's a nutshell. But sometimes nutshells are like, once I remember this person coming and asking me, Swamiji, do you understand the share market? I said, yeah, a little bit here and there, some general knowledge there. Can you give me some tips on it? I said, I'll give you the fundamental principle of making money on the share market. Really? I said, yeah. What is that? It is simple, I said. Very simple. Buy low, sell high. Simple. But how do you know where it is low and where it is high? That don't ask me. That don't ask me. That is not my job. I mean, you have many charts, that, etc. available for that. Some formulae are there, all that. You look into all those things. Don't ask me that. So similarly, for thinking clearly, feeling deeply, and acting decisively, It sounds very simple. It is simple also, but there are nuances for this, especially in the context of Vedanta. Okay. So these qualities become what is known as sadhana chatushtaya. Chatushtaya meaning fourfold, sadhanas. Sadhanas means or requirements. So to study Vedanta, it doesn't matter whether you know Sanskrit or not. Either the teacher or the student should know Sanskrit. It is better if the teacher knows. Okay, one of them should know. Okay, whether you are a graduate or a postgraduate, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. God has given you a head with something in it. We'll work with that. Whether you are a Hindu, that also doesn't matter. You need not be a Hindu to study Vedanta. Yeah, you have to commit to some of these ideas, that is true. But it is not that the Gita or Vedanta is meant only for Hindus. Anyone who wants to know the truth is welcome. Anyone who feels that existential issues that we talked about a couple of classes back is welcome to the study. Then when you come for the study, for optimum results, he lays down certain qualifications. This is traditional. Okay? All beginners' book in Vedanta deal with these qualifications. These qualifications have been gathered from various places in the Upanishads. The Upanishads are the source for this. So without much ado, what is the first one? The first one is known as Viveka. Okay. And it is qualified as Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. Now, what is Viveka? This is a pen, is knowledge. But if there is a doubt, is this a pen or a pencil? There is a doubt about it. To be able to clarify that doubt and say, no, this is a pen, that type of knowledge is called Viveka. When things appear mixed up, confused, to be able to cut across that confusion and say, this is this, that is called Viveka. So it's a little bit refinement here. Thinking everyone does, knowing everyone does. Everyone knows phone, book, pen, everyone knows that. But when things are mixed up, to be able to separate it out and see this is what exactly it is. And in the context of the I, they say Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha. To be able to differentiate between what is Nityam in me and what is Anityam in me. What is Nityam, I am not clear about, I want to know. I only know that I am the one who is experiencing everything which is Anityam. Anityam meaning finite. My body is finite, my energy is finite, my emotions are finite, my reasoning is finite, my knowledge is finite. All these are finite, and all this I objectify. I am not that. I am something more. This basic understanding, you don't need a teacher, you can come to it with yourself. When you come to a Vedanta class, the teacher helps you to come to this understanding, like what I did last class. If anyone missed that last class, please listen to the video on that. It's put up. So this understanding that I am experiencing all that I experience is anitya vastu. Anitya meaning time bound, space bound. I am the observer of all that finite thing. What am I? We will see. Last time we saw it insight. The whole Gita is going to cover it from various angles, various standpoints. But this basic understanding is supposed to be the first qualification in Vedanta. Starting with the ability to discriminate. Discriminate not in the negative sense that we use it to discriminate against somebody. No. But a discriminative analysis of something. When a problem is presented to you, can you cut across the whole thing and see what the core issue is? This ability, Viveka, plus that Viveka applied to me, I, the one who's experiencing everything. Sarvam anityam, everything that I see is anityam. I am independent of that. May require a little help from the teacher to come to this, but that's okay. This is the first qualification. Nitya, 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 nitya vastu, vivekaha. Nitya vastu, anitya vastu. Nitya vastu, I still don't know. I have to understand. That's the subject matter for Vedanta. But I understand that everything else is anityam. Now, why is this important? Because when we first get involved in spirituality, any vague experience becomes spiritual. No? Anything vague, stand on your head, you'll get a different perspective of life. Spiritual. Do this practice, you get a different experience. Correct, yeah? Very blissful experience it is. That becomes spiritual. Until someone will say, I'm going to the bar and bending my elbow, that's another spiritual experience. Literally spiritual. Especially Saturday evening. Friday night, Saturday night are meant for that. So anything vague can become spiritual. No, Baba. They are all anityam, time bound. Experiential means time bound. Anityaha. What is nityam, I want to know. Anitya I have seen enough, both dekha hai. In fact, the whole world, all my experiences have been anitya only, anyway. Who has had nitya experience? In fact, it's a contradiction in terms to say nitya experience. Why? Experience means anitya. Understand this. Experience means anitya. There is no infinite experience. All experiences are finite. They all have a beginning, they all have an end, they all have a limit. Because one experience can be different from the other. Two people going through the same situation can experience it differently. So all experiences are anitya. One guy goes to the beach and he's thrilled, he's happy. Ah, what beautiful. Look at that sunset and the breeze and this. Oh, beautiful. The other person is miserable right there. Why? He is reminded of the girl he lost on the beach. She ditched him and walked away with somebody else. So right in the beach with the same things, he is unhappy. Whereas another guy is happy. All experiences are anitya. Therefore, the second value comes into the picture, what is known as vairagya. People are scared of that term. Vairagya means sab chhodkar Rishikesh chale jao. No. Vairagya means to have a certain objectivity in all your pursuits. to have certain objectivity. People foolishly will say, oh, I have vairagya towards money. I have seen sadhus do this. Main paisa nahi chhuega. There's a great Mahatma, I won't mention names, who's going around, he gives talks. He gives talks to corporates also. Some of us, sometimes we are both given talks to the same corporate. But he has a principle, he will not touch money because he's a great vairagi. So the corporate has to send 2 tickets for him. But he will not touch money. Then how will he travel? So 2 tickets, one for him and one for his assistant who keeps his wallet and handles all the cash transactions. So I told the corporate, you're paying double for this guy. Find more practical guys to do things for. Yeah, find more practical guys. No? So people think that vairagya means to be disinterested in everything else. No. To be objective towards everything. So what is objectivity? Let us take money. To understand what money can give you, to understand what money cannot give you. Like, money can buy you a house, correct? It can buy you an apartment, a flat. Can that flat be transformed into a home by just money? A home is where there are loving hearts and hands. Only then it becomes a home. Otherwise it's a house, it's an apartment, that's it. It's not a home yet. So it can buy you a house but not a home. It can buy you people to work for you. It cannot buy you their loyalty or their respect. That has to be earned. Correct? It can buy you a book, but it cannot buy you an education. For that you have to read this book and understand what it is about. Correct? I mean, this is what it is. Money, what money can give you, what it cannot give you. It can buy you a lot of comforts. It cannot buy you happiness. Of course, it is better to be comfortably unhappy rather than being uncomfortably unhappy. Okay. Objectivity, this is what it's about. Money can get you married, it cannot give you happiness. All of you have experienced that, you know it. No, Swamiji, I got married last month, I'm very happy. Wait. I mean, all of you experienced that, I don't have to elaborate that. Kabhi khushi, kabhi gum. Are you getting the idea? To look at everything in my life and appreciate the objective value of everything. Everything has a value. Money can help build an ashram. But that ashram will be just a place. What makes it an ashram? If there are teachers and students learning, otherwise it's just buildings. It doesn't become an ashram. Just buildings. What's the difference between that and a retreat or a hotel? There's no difference. What makes it an ashram is different. This knowledge has to be there in it. So, similarly, look at everything in your life. Relationships, marriage, etc. Physical and emotional companionship, which is wonderful. Fulfillment, reva de. Fulfillment has to come through other sources. It is exactly like how modern youngsters come and tell me, Swamiji, I don't have job satisfaction. Really? What's happening? Do you have a good job with good pay? Yes. You have good colleagues to work with? Yes. Are you learning something on a regular basis? Yes. You have a good boss? Yes. Good juniors? Yes. What the hell is wrong with your job then? Everything is fine. There's no satisfaction. You're looking for fulfillment in a job. If this much you get in a job, it is a great job, don't quit. Good pay? I mean, just imagine this. You're getting good pay. You're getting something to learn everything. Good colleagues, good juniors, good bosses. It's a great job. Don't quit. Stick on. Correct. You're not happy. People come and tell me the same. Swamiji, my relationship is not going anywhere. Are you happy with each other? Yes, yes. Are you compatible? Yes. You enjoy a good physical relationship also? Yes. Physical, emotional. But it is not going anywhere. Where do you expect it to go? Out of the window? Because your heart is looking for something more than what these things can give you. That recognition is what makes objectivity into vairagya. That fulfillment that I seek will not come from this. All these are great for managing my life. To make my life fulfilled, I need something more inside. This appreciation is what we call vairagya. Vairagya is not walking out of your family. That's a big deal. Anyone can do that. What's the big deal about that? Rishikesh is full of characters who have done that and are unhappy anyway. Why they left their job, left their families and came there, become beggars. Or क्या? If you left your job, family, everything, and you're begging for everything that you need. What's the big deal about that? Vairagya is this understanding. Objectivity with respect to what you have. Objectivity with respect to what you don't have also. If only I get that house, I will be so happy. If you get that house, you can convert it into a home. Good. Nothing more than that. You can be happy, you can be miserable, kabhi khushi, kabhi gum. That's how it will be. Yeah. Because house is not what is going to give you happiness. That is you. You have to discover your Ananda. So what am I really after in life? I need a few things to manage my life. That may include a home, a job, money, relationship, everything. Great. All that makes my life good. What makes it great? What makes it completely fulfilled? That pursuit will come when you recognize that there is more to it than all this. That is called vairagya. So, if you have viveka and you examine your life with a sense of objectivity, vairagya will naturally happen. But you know, sometimes many of you may have read some books about this also. Like some of you who come to Vedanta may have also been exposed to something like Bhaja Govindam, etc. Artham anartham bhavaya nityam nasti tesha sukha lesham. Artham, wealth, is anartham, is not really your artha. There is no sukha in it. And what will every Indian say? Let me get that money, then I will discuss about it. It is taking what is known as the opposite stand, Pratipaksha Bhavana. Because you think money is everything, that book comes and tells you money is nothing. So you are sunk to one side, money is everything. The pendulum is shifted to the other side, money is nothing. So that what? Your mind will come to a balance, center position, say, money has its uses, it is not everything that I want. Objectivity will come in. So those books like this take extreme positions. Because in my mind there is a fascination, so they take the extreme position, so they will come to a balanced view. Don't take that to be the truth. What you are holding in your mind is not the truth. What this book is saying is also not the truth. There are two extremes. You have to come to a more balanced approach. That is what Vairagya is about. That I am after more from life than what I can get. That is why there is a vague dissatisfaction in everyone. Dissatisfaction with respect to your job, with respect to your marriage, with respect to your children, with respect to... You are very happy with your children when they are very young. After that, they start growing up, etc. There is a dissatisfaction. Others will come and tell you, you have got a great kid, yeah. Yeah, but... yeah, but... I said, I will be proud if that was my daughter or my son. Swamiji, you can say that because you are not have to... Yeah, I can say that because I see objectively what the kid is supposed to be. You are projecting what he is, what you want him to be. And then you will read Omar Khayyam. Your children are not your children. They are the children of humanity. They come through you, but they don't belong to you. Ah, what philosophy. What happened to that when you are fighting with your kid? All gone out of the window? Vairagya is not there, that's all it means. But I only mean well for my ally. I don't want him to burn his fingers by making all those mistakes. Hey, you made greater mistakes and you are fine. He will also be fine. You made bigger mistakes, no? You got your wisdom only by making mistakes. No? Let him gain his own wisdom. Sometimes your saying will not give him that wisdom. He has to experience a few things to get that wisdom. Now this objectivity, can you see that by how Vairagya affects your life itself? This is called Vairagya. You're being objective to things. Okay, let him make his mistake. He'll learn. It's like what a cousin brother I have, he is no more now. I mean, I respect him as a human being, nothing more than that. But one statement he made to his daughter was very telling. He said, I choose somebody for you as a husband. I may be right, I may be wrong. You choose somebody for yourself. You may be right, you may be wrong. But be sure of one thing. You'll always have my support. When the girl came and told me this, I said, wow, your dad actually said that. My respect for him went up a couple of notches. There's an objectivity there. There's willingness to respect people's freedom to be what they want to be. So Vairagya is not only for the study of Vedanta, it helps your life. You are less disturbed by things. You lost some money. It's only money, na? Like I have a friend who's a priest, okay? He's a great astrologer and a great tantric priest. He's phenomenal, the guy. But sometimes when you're an astrologer, you can't predict a lot of things for yourself. He knew he was going through a bad time. So he decided to drive from Bombay to this temple in south called Mookambika Devi temple. What you worship in the north is Vaishnavi. The same deity in south is called Mookambika. He said, I will sit for 1 week. The peak bad time, I will sit there in the temple, eat the prasad they give in the temple, not move out of the temple. I will be safe. Devi will take care of him. 2 hours short of reaching the temple, he met with an accident. He woke up after 24 hours in the hospital. He had his wife and 2 kids in the car. The car was a total write-off. Okay? They had to put a rod through his thigh bone because it was broken in 2-3 places. I heard about this and I called him up in the hospital. I said, "Hey champ, how are you?" He said, "Swamiji, God's grace, nothing irreplaceable has been lost." I said, "Wow. Here is a person who has met through a major accident. Wife and children are safe. Car is a write-off. He has to have that rod in his leg for 6 months. But what is he saying? Nothing irreplaceable has been lost. Health I will regain, car I will make again, everything will come." Vairagya, objectivity, can you see that? He's not saying, "I'm a good man, I have earned my life as a priest, I have been worshipping the gods for all the time, why should this happen to me?" He's not saying anything like that. It means bad things should not happen to good people, or what? Bad things happen to good people, bad things happen to bad people also. But bad people you expect it to happen, therefore you say it's fine. Good things happen now to good people, good things happen to bad people also. Karma, karma, phala. To recognize that and say, okay, fine. Objectivity. Can you understand what Vairagya is? Very important in your life. If you have this, you have balance. If those 2 things you have a balance in life. Life has got a sense of balance, which is great. Then comes a group of 6 qualities put together. It is called Shat Sampatti, your 6-fold inner wealth. First is called Samaha, managing your thinking and your emotions. In fact, handling emotions. It's called handling emotions. Do you have the maturity to handle your worry, anxiety, grief, etc. on a day-to-day basis? Would you all want a separate session on handling emotions? If you want it, just raise your hand. Okay, I will do that then. Okay, all right. Quite a few people are raised there and do that. Okay, a simple paradigm of handling emotions, because it's the emotional thing that make a wreck out of our life. Okay, I will do that. We'll handle it. We'll do a session on handling emotions. Therefore, Dhamma is your physical discipline. Like, you got angry. You are not being able to hold that anger. Your fists are balled up. You want to whack that character. But you put that physical discipline and say, no. No. You feel like it. You are on the verge of hitting that guy. But you will say, no. At the physical level, you learn to handle it. This physical discipline is called Dhamma. Sama and Dhamma go together. If perfect Sama is there, Dhamma is not needed. But we don't have it. Dhamma also means your discipline. Doctor has told you, hey, your sugar etc. is getting high, you are borderline diabetic, go for a walk every morning. Okay. I don't want to. And it's nice to get up in the morning. And the morning the alarm rings, you kept the alarm. At a reasonable hour, 6 o'clock only. Not Brahma Muhurta 4 o'clock and all that. 6 o'clock in the morning. 1 hour earlier, get up and go for a walk. But then one morning comes and the alarm rings. You also remember the other thing. It is nice to get up in the morning. But it's nicer to stay in bed. So that discipline, I was saying, no, I made the decision, get up, go. I made the discipline, nobody else. I made the decision. Why can't I follow through? That ability to cultivate that discipline is also part of Dhamma. When you teach manners to a child, what are you doing actually? The child feels like screaming and running around, but you say, no, this is a different space. Here you can't be running and Dhamma, you're teaching the child Dhamma. So some sort of discipline, etc. is good. You're learning Dhamma. Third quality, Uparati. Uparati is the inner poise that comes up either by a life of Karma Yoga or a life of Sannyasa. This is going to be elaborated in the Gita, therefore I won't handle it now. Karma Yoga Buddhi is going to be elaborately handled in the Gita, in the same chapter, after a few verses. So we will leave it for then. Okay? It's called Uparati. An inner poise, an inner balance, a sense of being able to handle, handle things gracefully without getting all worked up, and that is called Uparati. An inner quietening of the mind. Another way of putting Uparati is Swadharma Nishta. In what you have decided as your own dharma, Nishta, being rooted in that. I will do that, irrespective of the price I have to pay. I will do that. Swadharma Nishta is called Uparati. Next one is Titiksha. Oh my God, Bombay is so hot. Bombay is so hot. What do you expect? April, May, Bombay will be hot only. It's summer. It's hot. Yeah, it's hot. If you're using the statement as a conversation piece, I can understand that. But if you're cribbing about it, put on the fan. If you can afford an AC, put on an AC. If you can't, if you don't have either, relax. You're only hot. You don't have to be hot and bothered at the same time. Why are you hot and bothered? One is bad enough. No? Why are you having both? Shankara describes Titiksha in a very beautiful verse. He says, Sahanam sarva dukkhanam. Putting up with this unpleasant experiences. Apratikara purvakam. Without wanting to get even. Chinta vilapa rahitam. Without that constant worrying and vilapa, cribbing. The actual word for vilapa in English would be cribbing about it. Rahitam. Without cribbing about it. That is called Titiksha. Why do you want to crib about it? It's hot, it is hot. Yeah, what do you expect? There's a power failure on top of it. There must be something. Oh, power will come. I don't know how it is in Calcutta nowadays. There was a time in Calcutta, power would keep going off every few hours. Okay. I remember climbing 10 floors, 12 floors, etc. in Calcutta. Why? Because those days didn't have any backup. Power is off means you climb. Happens. Good for fitness. Good for your fitness. Climb. Or kya karega? Don't crib about it.
So they used to call it as load shedding.
Yeah, load shedding, correct. We used to have it in Bombay as well.
10 hours at a time.
Correct.
My God, in the 5-star hotel, you can't even open the
Yeah.
windows. Terrible it was.
Correct. But not to be cribbing about it. Okay. The classical story of lack of Titiksha, I'll never forget it. This happened 30 years ago. I used to go out of Bombay for some rural development work some years ago. I stopped that in 94, 95, something like that. I stopped because my teacher said, you have done enough of all that stuff. I said, okay, stop. So before that I would do a lot. So I was going by this train towards Surat side. This train was going all the way up to Delhi, but I was in that train up to. So there was this lady who had got in at Bombay Central, and the train has left Borivali, and all the water that she had is over. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. There's no one bringing water. The train has just left Bombay. They will also take some time to get organized. No? Everything gets loaded on at Borivali. By the time it comes, it will take another half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever. But that day, nobody was coming. I'm so thirsty. I'm so thirsty. So husband said, anyone has water? I said, I rarely carry anything. Okay. I will take water when it comes. Or so there's nobody else had also water, because most of the people in that coach were going only up to Surat, which is just 4 hours. And they know on the way water will come. Okay. I'm so thirsty. So the husband asked me, is there a place where the train will stop where I can get water? I said, this is Paschim Express. Next stop is at a place called Dhanu. And this compartment will be in line with the cooler in the railway station where you will get cold water. Okay. And this lady is complaining, I'm so thirsty, so thirsty, I'm so thirsty. Okay, Baba. So then Dhanu came, took about from there almost an hour. The husband quickly went out, got 3-4 bottles filled with water here. So she drank a whole bottle up. And the train left by that time. But there is spare bottles available. And you know what the lady is saying? You know, I was so thirsty. I was so thirsty. You're okay now, na? You had water. Yeah, but you know how thirsty. This is called complete lack of titiksha. Now you are getting it. Are you thirsty or thirsty? The more you talk, the more thirsty you will be. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. It's a true story. I'm not making it up. If it's a made up story, I'll tell you a story. This is a true story. No titiksha. Ability to put up with the pinpricks of life without cribbing. Yeah. And the next one is called samadhana. Forbearance. Acceptance of people for what they are. This is very often lacking. Accept a person. Okay, he has a different opinion on certain issues than you have. Hey, but you're fed up of arguing. Put some distance. Give the person the freedom to be what the person is. Believe me, in many ways, your freedom as a person is proportional to the freedom you give others to be what they want to be. Yeah. You think I don't have such characters in my life? Lots of them. It's very rarely I put a distance between. No? 1 or 2 people I have done that. Is it enough? 30, 40 years is a long enough rope I have given them. Now put a distance. Yeah. There will be. To accept people for what they are. I am not saying acceptance means you have to be great friends. Bosom friend. No. Accept them. If somebody is an idiot, how do I accept an idiot? He's an idiot, you know he's an idiot. Yeah. Accept him as an idiot. Can you do that? Now, you called him an idiot, you accepted him as an idiot, now you are expecting wise behavior from him. Then who is the idiot? If I am expecting wise behavior from an idiot, who is the idiot? Accept people for what they are. Even if you think you need to change certain things in your life, you have to first accept it. You can change only what you accept. And when it comes to people, you cannot make them change anything unless they want to change. So accept them. Give them the freedom to be what they have to be. Put some space. Put some space in between. You may have different political views. That's okay. Election time, naturally, that's what democracy is about now, having different political views. So when my students ask me, I only say one thing: put nation first. Whoever party, this, that, etc. See, are they putting the nation first? Not you, my vested interest. Are they putting the nation first? If they're putting that first, fine. You may not agree with all their policies. That's okay. You have the freedom to disagree. And if you are in a position to influence them to change, influence them to change. You are in a position like that, good. Do that. But accept people for what they are. A sense of acceptance. I am not using the word tolerance. Tolerance is taking a superior stand. Who am I to tolerate anything? What gave me that superior thing that I should tolerate somebody else? He is tolerating me also. So we are on the same boat. Acceptance. Forbearance. Let people be what they are. So this type of an attitude in life keeps your mind peaceful enough to study Vedanta and let it absorb and flow into your life. Not only to receive the teaching, but make it a fact of your life. Otherwise, you may be able to receive it, but it won't become part of your life. And the last value, which most of us have to an extent, but not very often recognized or clarified. So, Shat Sampatti is over. Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti, and the last word called Mumukshutvam, the desire for moksha. Means what? I recognize the existential issues in my life. Finitude, isolation, loneliness, purposelessness, all these are existential issues. I have recognized that, and I want to free myself from that. From the fundamental issues, not from some small thing like what my neighbor is. My neighbor is an idiot anyway, I accepted him as an idiot, so what's the problem? My secretary in the society may be worse. You take a good person and making him a secretary, he becomes a pain in the back. That's a given, it is natural. That's okay. Those are not the issues here. Here, fundamental issues. My lack of fulfillment. That everything is fine. Everything is fine, but still I am not happy. Another story, true story again. Okay. A few years back, I ran into this girl. We studied in college together. Said, hey, are you the? I said, yeah, I'm the same guy. Hey, let's have a coffee together. We have a lot of catching up to do. I said, sure. I don't have any pressing engagements. So we had a coffee and chatting 30 years to catch up. At the end of it, she asked me, are you happy with what you're doing? I never thought you would do something like this. I said, at those days even I never thought I will do it. Are you happy with it? I said, couldn't be better. Yeah, you look it. Now, because she asked me, I have the right to ask her the same thing. No? So I said, and you are a person who had so much of hopes and dreams in life. Are you happy? I said, well, I have a nice husband who I think loves me. I have 2 nice kids. I run a small boutique. I drive my own car. And I have a dog. What is my question? Are you happy? What is the answer I'm getting? I mean, everything is fine with my life. I should be happy. But somewhere something seems missing. Exactly. Somewhere something seems missing. to recognize that this is not anything to do with what you have, this is regarding your idea of yourself, your self-judgment. That I am that finite being out to seek fulfillment. That judgment has caused it. So to be free from that self-judgment is called mumukshutvam. Freedom from the existential issues in life is called mumukshutvam. Very often moksha presented as, mumukshutvam means the desire for moksha. Very often moksha is presented as freedom from birth and death. That freedom from birth and death is a technical expression. It is used to highlight your existential issues. Why? You have no choice over either. You have no choice over. Do you have a choice about your birth? The timing, this, that, etc. not decided by you. Your karma decides it, or the doctor decides it. Normal delivery not possible, cesarean. Any particular day you want me to do it? Yeah, the person is a nice day. Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock. But the labor pain started on Tuesday itself. You have to get the baby out before the baby's head get engaged. So now what do you do? No choice, but do it on Tuesday afternoon. No choice. Death, is there a choice? This guy said, yes, I had enough of life. He took some poison and went to sleep. After some time, he saw himself looking into a beautiful face. It is true, I am in heaven. You are in the suicide ward at Sion Hospital. I am the nurse here. I am not an angel. Even poison get adulterated today. What I am saying is, no choice. So, to highlight your lack of control, they are choosing birth and death as 2 points and saying you don't have a freedom from lack of control of your life, freedom from lack of fulfillment, freedom from your sense of finitude is moksha. Do you want it? I mean, you can study the Gita out of a curiosity. I'm curious. So many people have said so many things about the Gita. I want to know what it actually means. You can. It will bless you if you have mumukshutva. The study will bless you if you have the desire for moksha. Because then it really works for you. Otherwise, I have another friend who is a teacher of Vedanta. And her younger sisters, younger to her by about 12, 13 years, say, hey, don't teach me Vedanta now. I want to enjoy life for another few lifetimes before I come for moksha. I want to enjoy life for a few more lifetimes. Means what? I want to find fulfillment before I come to Vedanta. Unfortunately, the fulfillment you are looking for, you will get only when you come to Vedanta. Otherwise, you will get nice experiences. You can have a lot of pleasant experiences in life. I am not saying no to that. I am not saying life is miserable. That the Buddhists say. Sarvam dukkham dukkham. I say sarvam anandam. Everything is ananda. If you recognize it, do you want to recognize that everything is ananda? That you can go through miserable experiences and remain as ananda. If you want that, you want moksha. You have the desire for moksha. Mokshutva. Therefore, moksha is being ananda in spite of miserable experiences and in spite of happy experiences also. Happy experiences, no one cribs about it. What about miserable experiences? Ananda. If you are ananda, you can go through a miserable experience because you are ananda. Experience doesn't make you different from ananda, does it? You are Ananda all the time. That desire to be that is called mumukshutvam. Moksha ichcha mumuksha. The one who has it is mumukshutvam, has as a quality. It is called mumukshutvam. Now, if you have these four qualities, viveka, vairagya, shat sampatti, mumukshutva, not only will you be able to understand all that Vedanta says, it will become a fact of your life. It is not that we don't have it. We all have it to some extent. Some more, some less. Some may have a lot of viveka, but vairagya may be a little bit shaky. Some may have vairagya, but viveka is a bit shaky. That is middle class morality coming in. I should not do this, should not know that, etc. In the name of vairagya. Vairagya is not middle class morality, okay? It's free from morality. Beyond that. Samadama may be a bit lacking, handling emotions, etc. So we will do this handling emotions also, because that becomes an important point. Though, how am I going to give you my handouts? Maybe I can make a PDF and put it on the group. Okay, so people can download it and see that. There are a couple of this thing. So either the next class or the class after that, we'll handle that part of it also. And interestingly, this is the same thing I'm doing, which is that day, May 19th is a Sunday afternoon. I'm doing this with my youngsters, handling emotions. So when they grow up in life, they're all between 15 and 20. I'm doing the same workshop for them, but physical, live, not online. So that when they grow up in life, they already are equipped to handle emotions. Their emotions will not hassle them. They would have learned to manage. But it's never too late. I will do a small aspect of it online, and we will take it from there. Any questions on clarifications on what all that I have said today? Yeah, Shilpi.
So, this is not about specifically what you said today, but it's about moksha. So when we are saying that there is no experience that comes under, so in that sense, in the experiential way, really nothing changes.
Yeah.
And whatever my abilities are in terms of the mithya world, or in terms of like whatever I'm dealing with here, in experiential reality, I'm just going to call it experiential reality, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of experiential reality, nothing is really changing.
Correct.
It is in knowing that,
in recognizing.
Or it is a recognizing that is happening, but in terms of experience, really there is no change. That's what we are saying. Right?
Exactly. Let me tell you the story of Ananda. Ananda was Buddha's student. So Buddha declared, the flowers are showered for Ananda. That's a Buddhistic way of saying that now Ananda is to be considered as a realized soul. He has understood the truth. So all the other students were saying, God, one of us has become a realized soul. That's great. Let's go and check up. So all of them walked up to Ananda and said, Ananda, now that the flowers are showered for you, now that you are a realized soul, how do you find the world? The guy looks around, as miserable as ever. And he laughs. World doesn't change. Your understanding changes. You are a fulfilled being. Whether the world is happy or unhappy doesn't matter anymore. You're fulfilled. And you can happily go about doing everything that you want to do. Right now, we are going about doing things for the sake of happiness. Once you know the truth, you will do everything out of the sense of happiness and fullness. Big difference. You will be pragmatic enough to do what is necessary. Like, for example, I find only half a dozen students sitting physically in front of me. There are 30 people on screen, but half a dozen. So I may shift this class from this hall to my house, because half a dozen students can comfortably sit in my house. Why half a dozen more can sit? I have about 8-10 chairs. So they can sit. So this is a practical way of handling it. That practicality will not go away from you. Yeah. But you will do things happily. Ananda. Yeah. That is the whole idea. We will see. The whole Gita is about explaining all this. Good place to stop. Okay. Om Tat Sat.
Thank you, Swamiji.